You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. What's going on, my visionary dreamers? How is everybody on this? Let's get it started Monday. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the titles. This is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from drowning in yourself, saving you from drowning in the world. And for today, saving you from drowning in folk, traps people trying to set for you. So, yeah, this is Chronicles of Livin podcast show. And to those who are just tuning in and catching on, this show is for, hold on, I gotta do my invite. This show is for everyday people doing everyday things, living an everyday life, just regular folk, That's what I talk about. I just talk about everyday situations, and hopefully the whole thing is hold on, what's going on here? Did I just click off? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought that I clicked off. Anyway, the whole point of this podcast, to those of you who are just coming across this podcast for the first time, is just to, have some real conversations, share some real stories, just hopefully so that we can all grow and become better beings, become better people than we used to be yesterday. That's basically it. It's nothing extra. I'm not talking about celebrities on here and politics and stuff like that. No, I figured, once I started looking into the whole podcast thing, which I've been looking into this years and years ago. But, if you followed the podcast and you know the whole story and when I started and everything and why I started. But I just looked and I'm like, it's so many different other niches, but it's really no podcast out there that's just geared towards real life, real folk, everyday folk, just everyday situations, so that we can try to analyze it from different angles and hopefully look at it in a better light and, issues will be solved. So today's topic is all money is not good money. Let me repeat that. All money is not good money, y'all. I'm here to tell y'all, be careful of who you connect to your dreams. Be very, very careful. And why am I talking about this today? Well, y'all know I'm transparent on this show. It took me a lot to get to this point in my life. I'm very transparent. And one of my dreams, if you've been following my podcast, y'all know that I've started different ventures. I told you that some failed, some stopped midway, some didn't, some just reached a certain point and just stopped for whatever reason, and some totally went the course and I achieved and I accomplished what I set out to do. I mean, like, take for instance now, I set out back in June to start the live broadcast on Facebook. And then after that, I achieved that. And then I went on to build my blog. I did that. And then I went on to build a podcast show. And I did that. So those are three things that I set out to do that currently, is going on. And I was able to achieve those things and commit to them and stick with them until they were complete. Although the blog and the podcast is an ongoing thing, but the point is, this podcast is for me to inspire and to encourage people to just try to figure out a way to conquer life and to weed through the issues that come at you, the obstacles that come in your path and the struggles that you're going to go through and becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a blogger, whatever you want to decide that you want to become, singer, basketball player, artist, inventor, whatever you want to become, you have to know that it's not going to be a perfect path. It is just not going to be a perfect journey, and you're going to fail. You need to get back up and, just try it in a different way. You're going to have people that's going to come at your neck and, in all kinds of crazy ways, and it's a test. So let me get on with the topic of the day and why I chose this topic. Well, basically, I guess first, let me start this. Before I even talk about this, I want to start this in a really, really good light because I had to meditate on this topic in this situation. I had to pray about it and all of that. And that's what I've been doing. So I said this is from the Gita, and I said this yesterday. I read this off to you yesterday, but I'm going to read it off to people that's just coming on today. So this is from the Gita, and I will put the link down the bottom because this is another word in front of it, but I don't want to jack it up. So listen, I'm going to read it slow. Listen to what I'm saying, and then I'm going to go ahead with the show. So it says, I am of everything, the coming forth unto being. From me, everything is set forth into motion. Mindful of these words, they offer their love to me, the enlightened ones being fully immersed in feelings of love. Yeah, I needed to say that. So I could set the tone for this podcast because, when negative energy comes at you, you definitely don't want to return it with negative energy. I always talk about how we have control of ourselves, but we don't have control of others. What others choose to do with their time and their life and their feelings and their emotions is up to them. We can't control them. You know what I'm saying? We only can control us, and we only can control our actions, our reactions to a situation. So basically, if you've been listening to this podcast show, I try to share stories to kind of let you see your situation in a different light. Maybe look at your situation in a different light. So basically, what happened was this. So years ago, first off, I started building websites, self-taught, websites back in 2009. I started my journey on learning how to build websites. I'm not going to go too deep into the story, but I started my journey then in learning how to build websites. And from there, I decided, I think it was 2010, to go ahead and try to get back in school. So I first went to Colorado University online. They have a campus school, but I did the online school for international business. So I figured, I really want to do this. I wanted a community center. That was my goal. I've always wanted a community center. I graduated from performing arts, and I always wanted this community center to help kids get off the streets, you know what I mean? And live out their gifts and their talents, and not just for kids, but for their parents to rehash their dreams and visions as well. And some other stuff too. I want to give away all my stuff because it will come to pass one day. So I really wanted this, as it was always on my heart. So we had an assignment while I was in school, a writing assignment, and it was basically, it was about your goals, talk about your goals and, when you would like to establish them, the timeline and things of that nature. And that was the goal. I had many other things, but that was the one that was heavy on my heart. So I wrote about that. And needless to say, I got an A on my paper anyway, but I wrote about that. But in the midst of writing about it, about the community center, when I got to the part and it said, when do you plan on, basically completing this goal? When do you plan on making this a reality? And I just thought to myself, I was like, wow, I really wish that I had the finances to do it now. I thought it out loud, kind of talked it out loud. I could just clearly remember me sitting sitting at the desk and at the computer and thinking about this. Matter of fact, no, it wasn't the desk. It was a kitchen table. That's where I was at. I was at the kitchen table, and this, yeah. So I can clearly remember saying it out loud. Like, I really, God, if I had the finances for it, I would do it now. And then this voice came in my head, was like, you can do it. Just do it online. And I'm like, wow. OMG, yeah, I could do that. Maybe I can do it online. I'm learning how to build websites. Maybe I can make some type of community website or whatever. And there went my search. So, speed up. I wound up started building this website and everything. And it turned into something more. And then some kind of way, I still don't know. I think from the massive research that I was doing and reading, getting included in forums and things of that nature, I got connected to some developers overseas, Australia, Germany, Sweden, and India. Those were my main guys that I was dealing with. Oh, and actually one in New York. That's who I was kind of dealing with, and learning this stuff and paying them to do different things for the site and all like that. So then that was like maybe 2010 or whatever like that. So then around about, I think 2011, I moved back to Philadelphia, and my mother, I was still in school, and my mom was like, well, look, you can focus on school. We can, work together and, save money, whatever. So I'm like, okay, yeah, good idea. So I moved on back. And when I moved back, she didn't know nothing about the sites, and I showed her. And so she was like, oh, wow, this is really nice, because at this point it was at the status of like a YouTube channel, and it was leading towards like a Facebook type of platform, but I wasn't gearing it towards that type of audience. I was doing something else. I'm not going to tell you all about it because I know one day it'll come to pass. But anyway, it was really big. I had did a lot of research and all this. So my mom decided that, okay, you know what? I want to invest. So she invests a nice amount of money, and I'm like, okay, that's what's up. I wasn't really expecting that, So then since I was back in town, I called like 3 of my friends that was involved in when I had my record label, called them up, had a meeting with them, showed them they was hyped, they was excited. It was like, oh, I'm in. So I'm like, I already dealt with them. They already know what I'm capable of. They already know, what I'm saying, what I'm about. And they know that I'm about, look, this thing blow, we all paid. That's always been my mission, So then speed up. Had a loved one. I'm not going to say because I love her. I love her to life. So I'm not going to really, I don't want to, really put her in it. It's not her fault. But anyway, this loved one, I wanted to bring her in only because, she's kind of like a little sister to me, even though, but I wanted to bring her in. And even though I know she didn't really have the finances to put in, I just wanted to bring her in just to, I wanted her to be a part of something, you know what I mean? And I wanted her to really make out this thing blow. I wanted her to make out, you know what I'm saying? So meanwhile, she came in and we would have our weekly meetings and all of this. And in one time, and then later on, my brother decided to come in. He saw it, and it was just same thing. Like, oh my gosh, this is big. And see, my brother, he's already, doing his thing. He's a businessman. He understands business. He basically wound up doing the numbers for us, and he did a lot. He did a whole lot for this project or whatever. He made us really look at it and see really how much this thing was worth. I really was just kind of doing it, and then he came along and was just like, oh wow, wait a minute, okay, so. Speed up. Now, talking to my loved one on the phone, just so happened, she with her mom. Her mom listened to the conversation, and she knew what she was doing every week, and I guess she saw it or whatever. Now all of a sudden, okay, I want to be involved. I want to invest. I'm like, oh, that was so left. Like for me, it was so left. And this is where I'm talking about be careful. Be careful of who you connect to your dreams, You got to know where their heart is. You got to know where their mindset is. You have to know. And then on top of that, you got to know, do they even know anything about startups, startup businesses, business period? Do they know how it all go? You know what I mean? With the investment and all of that whole bit. Do they know? You got to be careful. You have to be careful. So anyway, she was pretty much adamant about it. This is what she wanted to do. So we met up or whatever. And, I'm like, okay, drew out something or whatever. Like, okay, you give up this amount of money and then, we'll give you some percentage or whatever once it's all done and once we make a profit. You know what I mean? Bam. Okay. Mind you, this person didn't contribute to nothing else but that. Everybody else was working diligently. Like I gave everybody tasks because everybody wasn't like, computer savvy. They was computer savvy to the point of, their jobs and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like coding and all that. So basically I was doing all the coding and dealing with the site and staying up until like 3, 4 in the morning, getting right back up at 7 in the morning, whatever, was getting no sleep because I was dealing with people, developers from overseas. So therefore, the time difference was like, yeah, I just never got any sleep. So basically, I kind of gave up really working a 9 to 5 and just really focusing on school. And then I wind up stopping, the online school because it just became too much doing both of them. And I just saw this whole vision going big. It would have. But nevertheless, okay, long story short, everybody just, things just started happening in their lives where they couldn't really contribute anymore financially, where we all couldn't contribute financially. I had already, I had invested so much before I even came here. You know what I mean? Before they even saw the stuff, I had invested, I don't know, like almost 2 years worth of money or whatever like that. But point is this, it came to a halt because, everybody just they had things going on in their life. One buying a house, this one going through, just stuff, and it was all respected. Everybody just was like, wow, we, okay, this is this, and that's just how it went. Nobody walked away with any like ill feelings. Everybody knew what it was. Everybody knew like, okay, we can't keep up because we got other things going on in our lives at this present time. So even though this could have been something big, maybe this is something we could revisit later on when we get things back on track or whatever. So that was that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a dreamer, if you're an entrepreneur, then you know that everything don't go your way. No matter how big it seems, no matter how... Am I going? Okay, I'm sorry. I lost y'all for a minute. The internet... Okay, no matter how big the picture is in your mind and your vision and stuff like that, it just don't always go your way. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know that if you have people involved in your vision and your dream, that they understand that too. And that was my bad. That was my bad. I'm just such a person that has a big heart, and when I have big dreams and visions, I just want everybody to be paid. Like, that's just me. But this is the thing. People can choose what they want to do. And the thing about it is, when people come at you for it, it's like, okay, this wasn't somebody that I even considered, I even thought would be in. But what it was this person saw the dollar signs. They saw the dollar signs, and that's all they thought about. They was like, I'm just going to give this up. I don't got no time for you. All they wanted to do was get on and play the games that was on the site, because we had games that was on the site. They got on, play the games, whatever. Now, let me say this. I have no ill feelings towards this person. I really don't. The thing is this. When everything stopped, I offered this person to pay them back on 2 different occasions, even though the money was spent. But they felt like, okay, they want their money back. If you're an investor, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, this was the only person that was on that level. So, okay, well, the money is spent. Everybody got, you know what I'm saying, stuff emailed to them, which I did email my loved one the receipts. I can't control that if people don't keep stuff. But anyway, I have stuff too as well, in which I had to dig up since it was so many years ago. I had to dig up. But I offered on 2 occasions to pay back installments. And this person said, no, I want the lump sum. Okay, well, I don't have the lump sum because, for one, my money's going too in this whole project. Okay, how about this? This person was into cooking and recipes. How about this? How about I build you a personal website? How about I help you do a recipe ebook? How about I teach you how to generate some income from that ebook and put your whole marketing plan together? These are the things that I offer to this person. Now, okay, well, I can't give you what you're asking right now because everything went into the project. Okay, so I left it, you know what I mean? A couple years go past. Now, podcast out, blog out. Here she come. Now she threatening me. Now she, it's like, this is the thing, y'all. Yesterday I talked about how you got to stay true to you. You got to find out who you are. You got to, see the value in yourself. I always talk about walking in integrity. Everybody that I've ever dealt with, everybody that has ever came on board with any vision that I've had. And as a matter of fact, they call me and say how much they miss the different projects that we worked on, how they had the most fun out of their life working on a website, working on the record label and stuff like that. Why? Because even though it was a dream that God put on my heart, I didn't come off like, okay, this is mine. No, I came off like, this is ours. So whatever comes out of it, this is ours. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person I've always been. Everybody that's been involved in anything that I've ever done to this day, they can call me and I've helped them out in different occasions, on different aspects of life that I knew about, like the fact that I got, the mortgage background and everything like that. Anything that I have given them, never try to charge nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this. Okay, you was there for the vision and the dream. So whatever you need from me, I got you. That's how I roll. That's how I've always rolled. Never had a problem. But I understand this. And I am sensitive to people when they're just, I don't know, at a state of mind that they're just, I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to be sensitive to it anyway. But I had to learn, you got to meet people where they are. That's one, And 2, like I said, you can't control nobody but yourself. And I look at life like this now. I'm just so numb to people telling lies, and I'm just so numb to that whole thing. And I realize that if people can take so much energy out of their lives to try their best to bring you down, when you are shining your light to help others and they want to dim your light, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? It makes you, for one, that actually, even though that's kind of like negative energy geared towards you, but that's how you actually know that you're on the right path and you're doing something good. Because people will not come at you if you're not doing nothing. I'm trying to tell y'all, if you're just not doing anything, you're not making no type noise, you're not trying to save the world, you're not, you know what I'm saying, just trying to put some positive vibes out there, people will leave you alone. But as soon as you start on your journey for your dreams and your visions, that's when all hell breaks loose. I'm trying to tell you. That's when people want to, they just, it's sad. It's just real sad. But it also shows how much they got going on in their lives. You know what I'm saying? It's like that saying when they say, you give a person a fish then they'll keep coming back. But if you teach a person how to fish, I don't know the rest. But basically, I think the moral of that is when you give somebody something and they didn't really earn it, or they didn't really work for it or whatever like that, they don't respect it as much. But when you teach somebody how to do something, and you get them to work for it, they'll appreciate it more. They will appreciate it more. And I just come to realize that, throughout my life, I have really worked on a lot of projects myself for other people that asked me to help them with different projects. And I walked away with not a dime, out of their project. And still till today, some of those people are making money. But you know what? I don't. And I've talked about this on other podcasts, different people. I've taken time out of my life, which is more valuable than money. If you really value your life, time out of your life is more valuable than money, than anything else in this world, because that's something that you can't get back. You can get money back, but you can't get time back. So, when I think about the situation, it just made me think like, wow, you know what I'm saying? This person, I was nothing but kind to this person. I came with other, alternatives with this person. When I tried to offer this person the money back, she was like, no, and she wanted the way she wanted it. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not going to keep on trying to fix something that obviously somebody didn't want to be fixed. But now, a person see you online, see you on TV or whatever, they just automatically try to count your money. That is what's going on. They try to count your money. They think like, oh my gosh, she got this going on, she got that, she got a whole lot of money going on. No, I don't. I'm just getting started. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. And I know that one day, like I said, a lot of my dreams came true, you know what I'm saying? To this a certain extent. But I'm saying, I'm talking like billionaire status, whatever like that. One day it will happen. And when that day happens, all the people that believed in me, I'm definitely going to look out for them. Even though, you know what I'm saying, everybody all stopped contributing, and it was all out. But just the fact that certain people believed in me, and still to this day, we're friends, we're cool, you know what I'm saying? We laugh, we talk about it, but we talk about the different projects we worked on with joy. With like, wow, we really did that. I wonder if social media was around when we was doing that. Like, we talk about it like to that extent, not the website part, but but when we did the record labels and stuff like that. But with the website, when we think about the people that was helping me with the websites, we think about that was 2011, 2012-ish, something like that. And it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago that Facebook and all of them just started getting the live broadcast. Well, we had all of that before they did, because that was, it wasn't competition. We wasn't trying to go against them. But, when you're in business, you always got to study. That's just like a McDonald's and a Burger King. You got to kind of study basically, what the other person is doing that have a similar platform. What they got that, and what they don't have. So that basically was how I was building that platform. I was building it as to what people didn't, with the sites, the social media sites at the time that was out at that time that I was building it. I went off what they don't have. You know what I'm saying? I went off of, we collectively talked about, okay, what we would like. If we, was on a social site. And that's how we kind of came up with the way it was being created and developed. And trust me, man, I'm trying to tell you, when I see the Facebook Live, I just be like, oh, wow. But hey, that happens. A lot of times, when you're a creative person, you can be before your time. And I have found that to be true with me in a lot of occasions. And I'm not going to say I accepted it, but what I have done is this. I look back at the different things, and this is what you might need to do. If you are a person that, you are a very creative person, you've started a lot of projects and different occasions. Some you achieved, some were really good, and some just were duds, or some just didn't come to the full fruition. Then this is how you got to look at it. And this is how I looked at it. The projects that I worked on that didn't come to pass, totally to pass, like this whole website thing, I look at it like this. That was God intervening and saving me from this person. This person would have caused some big problems. I see right now. I could see now. I couldn't see it then, but I could see it now. This person would have caused some major conflict within the company. Everybody else was on the same page. But because this person really wasn't in it for the vision, they was in it for the money, they would have caused a problem. And so that's what I'm saying to y'all. And like I said, this is nothing like, I have no ill feelings towards this person. I wish her well, and I just constantly pray, God, touch her heart, send her love, whatever, and all of that, especially for my loved one's sake, the one that my family's sake, especially for her sake, because it has been a track record of this person driving people away from my loved one's life. And I'm trying my best not to get on that same path with everybody else because of her. And I caught myself trying to open my heart and look past what everybody else was saying. You know how I said in one of my podcasts, oh, don't listen to everybody else when they say don't deal with this person, whatever. You just got to go at it and find out for yourself. Well, God dang it, I found out for myself the hard way. And it's all good. I mean, like I said, this is all a learning curve in life. You learn. And if you don't learn, you're going to repeat the same stuff. And see, me doing this podcast, me going solo, me, like I said, separating my Facebook page, 2014, by the way, because this person think I made a separate Facebook page to keep from her or whatever. I don't know. Anyways. So, me starting from scratch and starting to meet new people and doing it by myself, that was me learning my lesson, because I could have, said, okay, come on along with me and do this blog and, whatever, to people. But I said, no, it's time for me to stop being that way. Like, I mean, well, I know my heart. I want everybody to be okay and to be paid. And it's just like with me coming on this podcast, I'm your dream pusher. I want everybody to live out their dreams and their visions, because that's what we're put here to do. We all are put here for a great experience and to add to the world, not take away from the world. We're all put here to add our talents and our gifts. And, the sad part is this, when I offered this person to help them put together, a recipe site and some ebooks and all that, I really meant that from my heart. You know what I mean? Because that's what her passion was. I offered to build her a YouTube channel and show her how to use it and all of this stuff. You know what I mean? And I really wanted her to live out what her talents was. And then to turn around a couple years later and it to be like this, it's kind of disappointing. You know what I'm saying? It's really kind of disappointing. But again, I can only control myself. I can only control my actions and experience what I need to experience out of this and learn what I need to learn out of it. That's all I can do. And that's all you need to do. Because I'm sure there's a lot of y'all out there, especially, you entrepreneurs out there. I'm sure that y'all have experienced some stuff. And that's what entrepreneurs go through between people dealing and maybe hooking up with a bad partnership, or just, running out of your money spent on whatever your dream and your vision is, and or failing, or you know what I mean, or people just talking about you behind your back saying you crazy and you need to do this, that, and the other, you need to give it up. All of these things, you have to have tough skin to be an entrepreneur. You really do have to have tough skin. When you think about all the people that's been successful in this world, they all had to have tough skin. It just seems like soon as you shine a little bit, people that's, just not where they want to be in life, or not doing what they want to do in life, they want to come at your neck. And it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Wow, that's crazy, But again, it's all good. I do nothing but try to spread love to people. I walk in my integrity. I have nothing to hide. So it's like, when this person, wants to put posts or whatever is, I'm not even going to get into the emails and all that stuff, but I'm going to say this. Understand that bad publicity is good publicity, because sometimes it's just like, think about this. And I'm not telling y'all, I ain't saying nothing about Donald Trump, because I'm not into the whole politics, but I'm going to say this. Everybody was talking bad about this dude. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm not putting no judgment out there. I'm just not. But everybody was saying all of this stuff about him, and everybody was like, oh, he's a clown, he'll never win, and this and the other. And, everybody was bashing him. But what wound up happening was this. Because everybody spent so much time bashing this man, he got all of this free publicity. He got all of this good media coverage. And next thing you know, bam, he won. And everybody was dumbfounded. This is what I'm saying. So when people try to talk bad about you, don't worry about it. I understand now why when people do YouTube videos and all of that stuff, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is a good video. Then I go down and start reading the comments, and I'm like, what? Why is this person saying this? What is wrong with this person? This person is miserable. I understand now. I totally understand how the YouTubers feel when they're trying to just live their passions and talents and stuff out, and reach the world and share with the world. And then you still got trolls on there, trying to bash you and trying to talk against the good that you're doing. You know what I mean? I get it. And I understand. And obviously this is my first test, and I'm going past it, because I'm taking a high road. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a high road. I know who I am. Once you know who you are, then nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. No matter what anybody else thinks, nobody says. And y'all know I preach on that a lot. I talk about how, you got to stop worrying about what everybody thinks of you, what everybody is saying about you, because you cannot make everybody happy no matter what you do. You can't. It's impossible. I say, look at Jesus, look at God. People bash them, and it's like, really? Like, you can't even see them. You bashing them. You just gotta kind of like pray for the person and hope that whatever it is that they're going through internally to make them be so bitter, you know what I'm saying? And have such a nasty attitude, knowing that the person extended nothing to them but love and support in their own dreams and visions and stuff like that, free of charge. Anyway, you gotta just let it go. You gotta just let it go and just see how it's gonna go, because I'm fearless. I don't fear nothing. And as it says, a lot of people say you should fear nothing but God, but then God says you shouldn't even fear me. It's just, I think that saying comes from, just try to do right and don't do wrong or do, bad things to people or whatever like that, because, the wrath of God is going to come on you or whatever. But God he's good. He gave us free will. So it's up to us to decide what we want to do. And, even when we mess up, he still allows us to call on his name. He still will give us comfort if we really believe with our whole heart when we call on him, you know what I'm saying, that he will come to our rescue. He's always there, but he gave us free will for us to learn life lessons. You know what I mean? It was my free will to accept this person, when she was saying she wanted to be involved. I did it at my free will, really. And it was at her free will to say this is what she wanted to do, you know what I mean, to get involved, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, I accept when I do things for people and I get involved wholeheartedly with their projects and help them out to major extents, may I add, and it's all good. And I'm just a person that I acknowledge that I have gifts to share. They're not for me. They're for me to share. My gifts and my talents are for me to share. And I believe that God blessed me with more than one, with quite a few, because he see that I constantly share my gifts and my talents with people. It's so many times I could have made a boatload of money off of people, but I just was like, you know what, just give me this, or just, you know what I'm saying, I'm good. Look, we're going to do a barter deal. Like, if you're a photographer, I'll do this for you and you take my pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of times that when I looked at people and I'm like, wow, this person is talented, I want to help them, but I know they don't have it like that. So this is what I'm going to do. And we will work out a barter deal, and that's what they used to do back in the day before money existed. If you go back in history, that's what they did. They barter dealed. And I think the world was a better place back then, probably. But we get into the 40-minute mark, and I just want to come on and be transparent with y'all today. Get It Started Mondays. And what I'm saying about Get It Started, how this connect with Get It Started, is get that started. Get it started in a way of really analyzing who you decide to go in business with. Really analyzing your own strengths and the tools that you have. You know what I mean? And start with what you have. I'm starting with what I have. I didn't, like I said, it's a lot of stuff I gave up, and I'm talking to you from my cell phone. I don't have no just, even though I do have my desktop, my Mac and all that stuff, and I do have a mic, but my situation don't allow me to set up in that way. So I'm working with what I got right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's my cell phone. You don't have to always go out. You don't have the money. You don't have to worry about investors. Start with what you got right now. I had to learn that lesson, and it's costing me. You know what I'm saying? It's not costing me, but it is costing me in some ways, but I learned my lesson, and that's why I'm doing this thing by myself. And when money start flowing in and things get greater or whatever like that, then I know who to call on. I know who to, be involved or whatever like that, if that's what they want to do. But I know who I would love to benefit from my talents and gifts, So with all that being said, let me see if I touched on, I did write out some stuff. Let me see. Yeah, I think I did. I think I pretty much touched on everything. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave y'all with this. There I am. I'm sorry, there was a long pause. I'm going to have to pull this one down and fix it. So let me get off, because I decided to try a different area to do this podcast, but I see, I don't know, I might not be able to do it in here anymore. But when you see, when you're pursuing your talents and your gifts, and you going with all your heart, don't look at money coming in. Don't look at, the numbers. Don't. Just look at your growth. Look at your consistency. Look at your commitment. Look at how, where you was the last time you call yourself pursuing your dreams versus this time. Like, I'm proud of myself. I've been consistent with this thing. Yes, I might have messed up with the times a couple times or whatever like that, but I have been consistent. And I'm working on a blog right now to make sure that I bring you some great information and some good things. And I'm taking my time with it, but I promise you it will be up really soon. And that's all. I just want to leave y'all with that. When people come at your neck and start talking about you, trying to dim your light, shine it brighter. Shine it brighter and use what it is that they're trying to do. Use that. Like, I'm using this to be transparent with you. I'm using this situation to be transparent with you because I'm sure that if this is happening to me, it's happened to others out there where you might have partnered with the wrong person or you might have connected to the wrong person and it kind of messed up things or whatever, So, yeah, I just wanted to come on and be transparent and share this with y'all because, and like I said, it's all love, it's all love. And all I can do is pray for that person and just wish them love. That's it. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I'm going to always control my actions. And that's what it is. And I'm sure I passed this test. I'm not going to take it again. Trust me. So until Wednesday, guys, I apologize for the little outage, of going on offline or whatever like that. But until Wednesday, I will talk to you then. This is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from drowning in yourself, saving you from drowning in the world, saving you from drowning in people. I love you guys. Oh, and check out Chronicles of Livin. Google Chronicles of Livin podcast show, and you'll see whatever you need to see. Talk to y'all on Wednesday. Love you guys. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Livin, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin.com. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.